Recently I was looking for cool ways to insert YouTube videos into slides. A recent post illustrated how to insert a YouTube video add-in onto your toolbar, which enabled it to easily insert YouTube videos into PowerPoint. The one caveat, remember, for doing this, in order to display your video, you must be hooked up live to the internet. However, moving on from that tutorial, I actually think that just inserting a plain video just the way it is quite dull and boring for the user. So, just to jazz it up just a tiny little bit, make it look a little bit more professional, I was at a presentation recently where the presenter, Kieran McCormick, encased the video in an iPhone. And by that, this is what he done. Exact same video, but he put the video on top of a picture of an iPhone. All it is a clip art picture of the iPhone, and you can get them from most clip art search engines, but if you just do a Google search for clip art iPhone, you'll come up with the appropriate images for you. Now, of course, you can have it landscape or indeed portrait, and have some text along the side of the screen here. That's absolutely no difference, but it just jazzes up the video that little bit more. What I want to do is maybe combine this with another tutorial I came across from a gentleman called Dave Anderson on the Articulate blog. And Dave presented a picture where he had several pictures on a slide, and he wanted to tell a story behind each one of those pictures. And again, this just looks plain. This will get away with it, and as you hyperlink to each one of these slides, it could bring up information on each one of the characters. However, Dave had a more novel way of presenting this, and he did it in the form of what's called a photocube. Now, this is very, very simple to create, and I'll show you how to do this now in a second. But literally what Dave did was change the images just in terms of 3D rotations, and then combine them all in form of a photocube that people would be familiar with. I want to combine the two ideas. I want to combine Kieran's idea and then combine Dave's idea. So then in theory, this is what we should look like. So when the person clicks on a particular sheet, clicks on a particular piece of information, so the user is here and they click to go on to the next screen, or they click to go on to this particular Lego man's image here, and up comes the video or text associated with this person, and it gives it whatever information it is to the student. And very simply, you can do this for every one of your images that you will have, just simply making them bigger like that. So it's the combination of these two that I think is quite powerful. So how did we actually get to this stage? How did we create the video and indeed the photocube look? And this is what this tutorial will show you. Let's come up to the typical picture that we have here, and let's right click on it. Right click and come to Format Picture, go to 3D Rotation. You have your presets in here, and you have two layers of choices, okay, in terms of the parallel perspectives. What you would have to do when creating the cube to make sure that they all line up is that you would use one of the lines associated with it, right? You can't choose one of these and then one of these here. You must, if you want to use sides of the cube, you must choose all of the ones in the same line. My advice to you, to get what we have here, where we have the image in the slide I showed previous of the archer quite visible, we actually use this particular image as the front of the cube. So let's do that with this particular lady. Let's start off here and tilt the image like this. Let's click on this one, and again, that's going to be our front cube. So we'll move it across like this, just to line it up, and maybe we'll pick this particular punk here. We'll go 3D rotation, and remember we're on the second line, so let's just move him up here. And of course, just by moving it across, you end up having your cube along these lines. You can design the cube in any way you want. Here I have one face of the cube has one photograph each. In the previous example, I had 4 cubes on this face, 4 cubes on the top face, and that was just a matter of getting the picture and shrinking it down to the appropriate size. What I would do if I was you to make sure that all your photographs are the same size is click 2 of them or 3 of them at the same time, and just by holding down shift, and you will make sure you'll shrink them all to the same size. And this is quite important when it comes to lining up your cubes and making sure the pieces all fit together. The final bit to get to the way my pictures look like, if we click on one particular picture and you want to go on format, and I had a frame around the picture and I thought it just made it look that little bit more professional, but when you do that adaptations it removes the 3D rotation, so you must click back on your image again and then rotate it. Now you will still keep the formatting that you've just done. That's just something to be aware of. And one more tip that I'll give you is when you have your image or your cube made, you don't have to reinvent the entire wheel again for next time. Duplicate the slide with the same cube here, but you want to change it so the cheerleader is the image, and go highlight the picture with a right click, then go down to change picture and then find the new picture that you're looking for, and let's just click that one there. And there we go, we've changed our image with the same formatting the entire way. So it's a very, very simple process, and just to jazz up your slides. And just remember, this is what your final slide looks like. So it's just a novel way in presenting information to your students. And remember, this can be video or text, it doesn't really matter. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and for more information please feel free to log on to my blog enhancingteaching.com. Thank you.